morning, everybody. This is Dave. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. It's a warm weekend morning, but we're gonna get out here and get something done that desperately needs to be done, which is digging our potatoes. So we've got one row of potatoes here. It stretches out kind of behind me. The plants are, they're most part, they're still here, but there's some that have died back, but the rest are just kind of dying back now. I was late getting them in. It wasn't until April, so we're late getting them out. So we're gonna do some digging today, as we've done in the past. My son's here actually to operate the camera, and he's going to do some filming. We're gonna do some digging, then we'll speed it all up so that you don't have to sit through too much monotony. Anyway, let's get to digging some potatoes. These are all, I did a video on planting these. These are all russets, as well as a few yellow gold that were all grocery store bought and sprouted on me this past winter. And so every single thing that I'm planting here is a grocery store potato. So let's see how that does. I guess that'll be a bit of an experiment and see what happens. So let's get to it. And remember, if you like what you're seeing here, please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It makes a huge difference for the channel. It gets my videos out in front of other people. We spend a lot of time and effort working on these, and I would love to see as many people hopefully benefit from them as possible. So again, like, share, and subscribe, and I appreciate every one of you. Thank you very much. A lot of weeds here. That always happens, but if you look, so there's our first potato plant right there. And I'm not sure what we got. Oh, I think I see something. Nice. All right, let's get busy. So as a reminder, I don't ever compost potato plants. I don't ever compost tomato plants. They simply have too much opportunity to be carrying disease, either that through virus or blight, or in the case of tomatoes, a lot of times funguses and things like that. Those plants all get set aside and will get burned at the end of the year. Once they're dry, I just have a little fire pit, and when we have a fall burning in it and sit around and roast marshmallows, we burn the potatoes and the tomatoes, and that gets that whatever disease they may be carrying, it gets it out of the garden. It gets it away from my other plants. So just a reminder. And a potato. There's part of the original seed potato. It's actually covered in ants and everything else. So they're taking care of that for me. So that one, it's been in the ground too long. See that? It's already starting to re-sprout. We'll just snip that off and eat it sooner than later. But that's one that definitely should have been harvested sooner, this plant. But we still got some pretty good spuds off of it. This looks like one of the yellow gold. I didn't really separate them out. I just kind of mixed them together. The first couple were russets, definitely, but see how thin that skin is? Those aren't new potatoes. They've been in here a while. New potatoes a lot of times will have a thin skin like that, but these don't. These aren't. They've been around a while. If you want to see the difference, there's a comparison. So there's the yellow gold and there's the russet. Again, all store-bought. Everything was just stuff that sprouted on me and I kept in the closet till I was ready to plant. There's another one, the yellow gold. They come up nice, don't they? Look at that, all the potatoes right there. They're not huge, but I'm betting they're gonna be tasty. And again, here's another one already resprouted a little bit. I'll have to trim that off. Oh, missed one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this bed next year. I put potatoes in it the last 2 years, and I'm really considering, down there at the end is a blackberry, some blackberry canes that friends of ours gave us. They did incredibly well this year, very prolific, very good berries. And I'm actually thinking about cutting some of those canes off, laying them just flat right down in this bed, horizontal, and letting them grow. And letting this whole, basically from where you're standing, at least down to that red bucket on top of that post over there, letting this whole bed end up being blackberries. And it'll grow over the fence. It'll take care of the weeds growing up and things like that. It'll block it out. And then I'll just have a whole blackberry run here that is, for the most part, protected from the deer and the squirrels and all that good stuff, because it'll be inside the fence. So, not sure. Anybody who has a lot of interest with blackberries or experience, let me know what you think. But that's what I'm thinking about doing. And this will just become a static bed of blackberries every year. We've decided to have a plane come over and practice turning his engine on and off. I don't know if that's translating or not. Maybe my son does my editing. He's actually doing the camera work as well today. Another one sprouted. Yeah, I was definitely probably 2 weeks late with these, but it's just been so insanely hot here. Anyway, what I was saying was maybe my son can put in some nice music or something to cover it up. Of course, then you won't hear me saying this because he'll put music in. So, not sure how that works, but that's not my worry. He does all my editing for the ones that get edited. Whenever you see one that has a title screen on it, that means he's done the editing. If you see one that doesn't have a title screen and it's poorly edited or the sound is poor, well, don't blame him, blame me. Because those are the ones that I just did and uploaded immediately without sharing with him. And yes, I am shilling because he does do gig work, and he's my son, so, and this is my channel, so turns out I get to gig for people. I get to shill for people, whoever I want. Look at all these, look at all those tiny little, they're just like growing like crazy, but they're not much to them. I am a firm believer, however, some people, there's two kinds of potato pickers, you know. There's some that are like, that's not big enough, I'm not going to worry about that. Then there's people like me, because I can take a handful of those, like that, 2 or 3 slices, and have it with my eggs or with breakfast or that sort of thing. They don't last very long when they're that small. Oops, hold on. They don't last very long. You got to use them right away because they'll dry out. but they are tasty. They're mild. The skin is almost non-existent. They do great sauteed after you just finish doing the bacon in the pan. In case you're wondering where that comes in, it's after the bacon, before the eggs. So, all right. I know. Less talking, more digging. Here we go. Thought that was one, but it turns out it's not. Gotten here to where a few of the plants have died back, and it's not readily apparent where they were, and I don't want to miss any. There's a nice one. Just dug up an original seed potato that had gotten quite mushy, and it really is stinking. Part of the original seed potato. Ah! Well, bummer. There better be something else under there for all that goodness. Oh yeah, here we go. Woohoo! Woohoo! This has all been from one plant. This one did very well. We'll throw those back. Maybe they'll volunteer for next year. I know I just said I keep all of them, but not much you can do with that. That's an old chunk of mud or clay. Did you ever get a green French fry? Yeah, there you go. That's where you got it from. So that's, I'm sure a lot of people know this, but that's potato that has gotten exposed to sunlight, and that sunlight will turn it green. It starts to grow. It starts to put off plant parts like stems and that sort of thing, and the chlorophyll gets in there. The thing with that is once it starts making that green like that, it makes a chemical called, man, I should have looked this probably up before I did this. Solanin, I think. Anyway, it's what makes eating a potato plant poisonous. And they're not like, it's not like arsenic, like, oh my God, you had a sip, but it'll make you very violently ill, nauseous, that sort of thing if you eat too much of them, especially uncooked, unprocessed, that sort of thing. So that one we'll let go, but that's one that right at the surface, got some sunlight on it, you can see it's turned a little green. Might have poached these from the next plant, but there we are. It's supposed to have a big, we were supposed to have, remember we're gonna have a big cicada. If he leaves us in, that's my son talking, by the way. He asked if it was a cicada year because the bugs are going crazy pretty good. It's supposed to be. Remember, it was going to be cicada apocalypse. And everybody was going to be swarmed with cicadas. I don't recall hearing anywhere in the country where there were loads of cicadas this year. So if anybody had a bunch, let me know. Because I remember earlier in the year, oh, you know, it was the latest, greatest thing to be upset about. Latest, greatest thing to be worried about. And didn't really seem to come to pass, at least not here in the mid-Atlantic. There's another original seed potato, see? Whew, they stink. All right. I know I'm turning my back to you, sorry. Right now, basically, what I had hoped for was a 5-gallon bucket out of this row. So maybe we can pan up and down the row and I'll show you that basically I have this much left right here. So I have about this much left right here. And I've already got my 5-gallon bucket full. So I'm ahead of where I'd hoped for, what I'd planned for. I may actually plant another small batch of potatoes here shortly again in the fall and do a second crop. Here we're it's beginning of August, so we can it's beginning of August, so we've got August, September, October, November. Those days get shorter, but the temperatures still don't get super cold. And I think I can probably get another round of potatoes in with stuff that I've gotten from the grocery store that hasn't, that went, you know, started budding and chitting on me. So we're gonna probably do that. We're gonna finish this last part here, then we're gonna weigh them and see what we got. Okay, almost to the end. These yellow gold, Yukon gold kind of potatoes, I let them go a little bit too long, but wildly prolific compared to the russets. They, I mean, they're already resprouting as I've shown you on several potatoes. I'm gonna knock those buds off. And they did very well. Did much better than I really expected. In fact, I think I'm going to be pleasantly surprised here when when I get my bucket ready to be weighed. All right, so that should be everything. I have no doubt I missed some, but such is the way of digging potatoes by hand. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna go get the scale and we're gonna see what we got here. So I'll check with you back in just a second, okay? All right, here we are, we're back. We've got all the potatoes, and the bucket we've determined weighs about 1.5 pounds. So we're gonna set these right on there. And then if we look, and if the bucket weighs 1.5 pounds, or at least a bucket just like it did, we have 29 pounds of potatoes from that short row that I got. All right, so that's it. 29 pounds of potatoes from that one short row. That's I'm tickled pink with that. I don't see how I could have gotten any better, gotten any more of a decent haul from that. I do believe we're going to take some of those maybe that have sprouted or getting ready to sprout, or even just go to the grocery store anymore. You can buy any bag of potatoes you have has 2 or 3 already chitted in it, and we probably will do again do a fall crop. I want to try to do more fall gardening. It's something that I've never really gotten into, but this year I really want to do some peas, as well as possibly some like broccoli and that sort of Brassicaceae family cabbage, things like that grow better in the cool weather. So that's it. That's the potato reveal. If you like what you see, I always wait till the end of this. If you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. It helps the channel so much, and it helps me out a lot as far as getting our videos out to people who may find them as useful as you do. So until the next video, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you then.